What's going on, guys? It's me, Fan HC here, and today we have another model plane unboxing video for you guys. I hope you guys are excited for today's video. Today we got a very special unboxing and I'm just beyond excited to premiere for you guys. And yeah, here it is, the box itself. So this box comes from Panda Fox Toys, and yeah, like I had a previous Panda Fox order like a few weeks ago, somewhere around September I think, but here is the box itself of Panda Fox. This came from a recent GeminiJets release, and I'm just super excited to finally have a model out of this. I've been looking forward to having this model for years. I've been wanting to have this model ever since I started collecting, and here it is. I'm just beyond excited to finally have it. If you guys saw the thumbnail, you guys know what it is, but if you guys here for the premiere, I just can't wait to show this to you guys. So without being said, let's get into the unboxing. And yeah, this is gonna be an exciting model. It is a white whale model, I'll add, and it's like a regional aircraft I've been wanting for years, and honestly, it's gonna be really awesome to finally have this for my collection. I've been wanting this for years, and yeah, like I'm just looking forward to finally having it. It may have like it can basically have some kind of like, it's gonna really be like a turning, not really turning point in a way, but it's gonna change on how my model aircrafts or model planes are gonna look like. So I'm just beyond excited, and I don't know why I cut from this side. There's like an opening there, so let me try doing it over there. There we go. Alright, so let's cut to here, and there we go. So the box is now open. Let me just do this, and inside all these packing paper is the model itself. I'm not going to show you what it is because of course I want to give you guys a surprise, because yes. But as I look at the receipt from Panda Fox, I should have it. And here is the 5% off discount code for Panda Fox. I don't know if I should be doing this more often. Oh, I think I can see something over there. Just want to make sure I don't see any like details. But here is the 5% off discount code. Papa 5 Kilo 5 Alpha Delta is the code, and this expires on December 14th of 2025. So you have a few months to get that in for if any of you guys are watching it. But sorry for that little interruption. I just gotta help my mom do something down in the kitchen. But as we look inside these packing paper, the aircraft is there. So I want to try to make sure I keep it a surprise for you guys. So as I take out the model itself, come on. Oh, it's coming out. It's coming out. Come on. Yes, sir. There she is. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm happy to acquire the GeminiJets 1/400 scale United Express Embraer E175. Man, I don't know where to begin. This is a model I've been wanting for my collection for years, and finally, it's here. It is finally here. She has arrived at my house, and I'm just beyond happy to finally have this model in my collection. The United E175 has been a model I've been wanting for years, and I'm just happy that GeminiJets has finally done a release of this, a re-release in this case, in the Evil Blue livery. And overall, I'm just looking forward to seeing what this model has to offer for my United Airlines regional collection. So that being said, let's move on to the next clip as I go over the box. Alrighty, and here we go, the unboxing of the GeminiJets 1/400 scale United Express Embraer E175 second release. A model that I've been wanting for years. I'm just really excited. It's finally here. I am just beyond excited to finally have this in my collection. This is gonna change on how my United regional fleet is gonna look like. I already have a United Express aircraft already, which is the BAE 146 and the United Express CRJ 200, so technically I have two. But the E175 has been an aircraft for the United Express fleet that I've been wanting for a very long time, and I'm just really I'm just really happy to finally have this in my collection. So this model came out on the GeminiJets September 2025 releases, and this model took 5 years before, well, this particular aircraft took 5 years before another re-release of this aircraft came. Because the previous one they did was back in February 2020, where of course that particular United Express Embraer E175 1/400 scale was super famous thanks to Connor's or CM Aviation's video about is like, you know, how he talked about like the wing flex of the United Express E175 on the first release November 605 uniform X-ray. That was a really interesting video, I gotta say. So CM Aviation, if you're seeing this, then I hope you get this. I hope there's no wing flex, but if ever you came across this video, then you'll see for yourself. So will this model have any wing flex or not? Oh boy, it's gonna be really interesting. But from what I saw on the Delta E175, I'm assuming not. But we're just gonna see for ourselves. But other than that, I'm just beyond excited to finally have this. Once again, this aircraft I've been dying to have this aircraft. I'm just dying to have this aircraft in my collection. I'm really glad GeminiJets has done a re-release out of this for September 2025, and overall, I'm just looking forward to unboxing it in today's video. So, you got the standard GeminiJets box, you got the GeminiJets logo right there, made for collectors by collectors, you got the CJ image of the plane itself, you got the Embraer E175 tiles right there, you got the United Airlines logo, 1/4 scale die-cast small aircraft. As I go over the box, you got the bottom side of the box, right side of the box, top of the box, and right side of the box. Here is the back side of the box with the aircraft, of course, taken off with some clear blue skies. That's the CJ image of the plane. You got the as real as it gets features, as real as it gets. I can already think about like the Connor's video about the United E175, but as real as it gets. Will this model will be as real as it gets? Will this model in particular list all the various like bullet points you see here? High collectible, superior quality, realistic metal landing gear, detailed printed graphics, as real as it gets features. We'll see. But you got their social media pages right there. You got the United Airlines trademark products right there, the trademark label right there. And you got the 2025 GeminiJets copyright label right there. As once again, this model came out in February of not February 2020, September of 2025. And as I go over this one, you got the item number right there, which is GJUAL 2342. Looking forward to see what this model is going to look like inside the pamphlet. So without being said, let me open up the pamphlet for you guys. And there she is. Yes, sir. Look at her right there sitting calmly, nicely inside the plastic cradle. Wow, that looks really, really amazing. And of course, here is the description of the United Express aircraft and the Embraer E175 itself. You can pause and read whatever you like. And yeah, all the various details and all that stuff. And here we go with the unboxing. So, will this aircraft have any wing flex or not? But I'm just looking forward to finally having this model. And yeah. Oh boy, this is really exciting. This is really going to change on how my United regional fleet is going to look like. But as I take out the plastic, yes, there she. Wow, that is awesome. Alright, let's take her. Oh, yes. Wow. Oh, man. Yes. There's some residue, there's some kind of like something sticking out. I could try to like take it out, but as I check the wings, let me make sure. Okay, wings are good. How about this wing? Horizontal stabilizers and the tail. And looking for everything that's in there. And let's see that wing flex. I think there's actually no wing flex, as you can see. Look at that. Wow. Oh my god. Take a look at that, ladies and gentlemen. I believe there is no wing flex on this aircraft. Wow, that is amazing. So, ladies and gentlemen, here she is, the United Express Embraer E175 in the stunning Evo Blue livery. Wow, that is awesome right there. I don't know what the heck happened. Why is there like some kind of like, what is going on there? There's some kind of like residue over there. I'm not sure what's going on, especially for the fronts. So I may have to like try to brush it off, but take a look at this model right there. Oh, wow, that looks awesome in 1/4 scale. Let me set my tripod down. Take a look at that, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, wow. Even from this angle right here, you can see that there is no wing flex. Let me see. Oh my god, that is huge improvement from the first release right there, ladies and gentlemen. Wow, that is awesome. Great work, GeminiJets, on this. Great work. So, the second release, United E175, does not have any wing flex. That is all effort based from GeminiJets right there. Great work, GeminiJets, on this. This is so superior, and overall, I'm just really glad to finally have a United E175 in my collection. This is indeed gonna change on how my United regional fleet is gonna look. So, thank you so much, GeminiJets, for this. This is absolutely awesome, and overall, I'm just beyond fortunate to finally have it in my collection. gosh, I can just look at this. That is all effort based right there from GeminiJets. Wow, they did a fantastic job on this model right here. Wow, that is absolutely stunning. Once again, thank you so much, GeminiJets, for this model right here. Well, ladies and gentlemen, there she is, the GeminiJets 1/400 scale United Express Embraer E175 in the Evil Blue livery, the September 2025 second release. What a phenomenal this is from GeminiJets. I am just beyond happy to finally report that the wing flex on this model is a lot better than the previous release, and I think GeminiJets did an outstanding job on this 1/400 model. And again, I'm just happy they finally did a re-release of a United Express Embraer E175 after many collectors have been demanding a re-release out of this. And yeah, this is a beautiful model, and yeah, let's get into the review. And yeah, this is just a really amazing model. Once again, huge props to GeminiJets on making this model right here. So let's get started with the cockpit windows right there, and then you got the nose shape of the aircraft. Of course, the nose shape and the molding of the front part of the E175, I think it looks good for what GeminiJets has did. So looking very nice right there. You also got the radome right there. You also have some pitot tubes right there, pitot static systems right there. So you can see some stack ports right there, and your pitot tubes right there. You also got the connecting people united the world tiles right there, and the Star Alliance logo, and then there's the nose landing gear and the nose landing gear door containing part of the aircraft registration 606. And then you also got the L1 Boeing door right there, looking very nice as well. And then of course you got your passenger windows, which I think GeminiJets did a good job on the printing of the passenger windows. Moving on to this side, you got the United Express tiles right there, and then you can also see the operated by SkyWest decal right there. And then of course with the Evil Blue livery, you got the gray underbelly and a beautiful navy blue swoop that runs from the forward area to the aft area of the plane. Now, I've seen on this model, there's like some kind of like, I'm guessing paint bubbles that are like in this part of the aircraft, and I tried removing it, but that kind of like risks the model or like the paint being like, you know, ripping off. Well, like, not really ripping off, just like scratching in this case. So I decided to leave it as it is, but it's quite unfortunate that the people who are in the factories did not pay attention to this. So yeah, I mean, it is what it is. Like, again, these are models are manufactured in China, so yeah, like, I mean, I'll say like there might be 50-50s on all like these products that are made in China. So yeah, but it is what it is for this model. Either way, all I want is United E175. I don't really care if this model has any deficiencies, but I just want this model in my collection. Moving on to the middle section, you got like the wing root right there, and of course you got like the wing of the aircraft itself. I'll talk about the wing flex in a moment, but you got your GE CF34 engines right there, which are proportional in size, which I love to see with GeminiJets. You also got the beautiful E175 winglet. These are enhanced winglets, unlike the straight winglets. These are, I'm guessing, may have to do with like fuel efficiency on the aircraft with like less drag and all that. Wake turbulence, for instance. So yeah, those are the enhanced winglets on the E175. A common like winglet you would often see on various like E175s in the US. Moving on to like the top part, so here are some wing details. You can see your fairings, the engine pylons, you got the slats, flaps, and some aileron details, and ground spoiler and flight spoiler details as well, alongside some printed details on this aircraft. So great work, GeminiJets, on getting that onto this model. And then moving on to this side, I do want to clarify that this is not an antenna. It's kind of like a piece of the aircraft, which again, I'm not really quite sure what this is, but probably has to do with some kind of like details maybe. But yeah, this is not an antenna, just to clarify. You also got your L2 door right there. You got the aircraft registration November 606 Uniform X-Ray, which is the sister ship of the first GeminiJet to release, November 605 Uniform X-Ray. And I believe I may have seen this plane while I was at work, but I don't have like a picture of 606 Uniform X-Ray yet. Like, I haven't got a picture of it during my plane spotting sessions, but I assume that I'd seen this aircraft during like my times while I was like, you know, working on the ramp. You also got your US flag right there. And then moving on to the empennage of the plane, you got the E175's APU, which it looks bigger compared to all the other APUs the aircraft has, like all the other aircrafts have. But yeah, the E175 is like a really big APU. You also got your horizontal stabilizers with some nice printing details right there. And of course, you got the United Airlines Evil Blue tail with the dorsal fin right there. And I think GeminiJets did an excellent job on printing the United Evil Blue globe onto the E175's tail. Now let's go into the front. Now here's where I talk about the wing flex. So let me prop up my camera for this one. For the purpose of this demonstration, I will prop down the camera like so, to where I can get the aircraft straight and level in a way. Here, let me put the aircraft a little closer to the front so you guys can see. So, from the previous GeminiJets release, November 605 Beautiful Exit from February 2020, the E175's wing flex on that model had like a 30-degree angle, which I think it kind of like would look like this. So I do have a couple of models to showcase to you guys, but from looking at this model itself, as you can see at the front, as if this aircraft does not have any wing flex. Well, technically speaking, the port wing doesn't show any significance of any wing flex, but the starboard wing kind of seems like it. It's not really sitting up too high unlike the previous release, but it kind of looks like, seems like a 15-degree angle in a way, or like less. I'm not really quite sure how I can like determine the angle of like the wing flex from what I'm seeing on the starboard wing, but I will say though, this is much better than the first release, and I think GeminiJets did an excellent job on replicating this model in 1/400 scale. And as you look on the port side, this is what it looks like on the port side, so you can see the port wing. That's a good representation of the E175's wing flex. So yeah, there's nothing too significant. There's no wing flex showing any on this wing, but as I look at the starboard section, so right here, this is the starboard section, you kind of see that little wing flex, but again, it's not as worse as the first release, so I think this is pretty much acceptable for what it is for GeminiJets right here. So as I go into the starboard section, but other than that, I still love the fact that GeminiJets was able to fix the wing flex on the E175, and I think they did an overall good job on it. So you can see some extra details. You got the windshield wipers and all the extra details right there. And as we move on to the starboard section, you got your R1 and R2 doors. The R door seems smaller compared to the L door because, of course, the L door acts as a boarding door. The right door acts more of as an emergency exit door. But you got your R1 and R2 doors. You got your forward cargo bin right there. And as I go through here, you got the aft cargo bin, which is right there. Now let me give you guys some different perspectives of the plane. So here's the top view right there. Nothing much on the top view details. There's no antennas on this aircraft, but you can see a red beacon light right there. Moving on to the bottom, you got your stand hole right there, and your tiny GeminiJets logo, if you can see it. But yeah, there is the tiny GeminiJets logo, and all your various like details. I do love the fact that the air intakes are molded into the model. I think that can be an improvement compared to the previous release they did, but I do love the back details. And again, just to clarify, this is not an antenna. Moving on to the front view of the plane, let me show off like this. So here is the front view of the plane. Once again, no wing flex, which is an absolute plus to the previous release they did. Again, I think the starboard wing kind of appears to be having just a little wing flex, but not to the point where it's a 30-degree angle. Moving on to the back, here is the back. So here is the back view of the plane. So you can see like the wing flex, like just the wings a little better right there. White whale model acquired, boys. I'm really glad to finally have this model. Once again, I've been always wanting this model for years. I'm glad to have it, and I'm just glad GeminiJets has did a re-release of this model for September 2025. I think many collectors are going to be very happy, especially CM Aviation or Connor McCauley. Of course, he made a skit of this model from the first release, and this shows how GeminiJets has improved over the years. I'm glad to see them improve on their molds and all that stuff. So I'm really happy. I'm just really happy for them that they are improving ever since 2023. So this could be the rise of GeminiJets again. So yeah, I'm really glad to see this. And if this continues with GeminiJets, then we can see more and more collectors buying more of GeminiJets products. No disrespect to all the other manufacturers. Of course, NG models, Phoenix, Aviation 400, and many collectors would also like to get some models from them too. But GeminiJets has been improving for the past few years. Of course, they had their downfalls in 2018 and 2020. Now they're starting to rise again ever since like 2023 to now. So I love seeing this from GeminiJets. Keep up the great work, and overall, keep making models like this that many of the community, model collecting community wants. And I'm just really glad to have this United E175 in my collection. Once again, this has been a white whale model I've been wanting for years, and I'm really glad to finally acquire it. So that's it for this video, but before I jump into the conclusion, I do have two of my E175s I do want to demonstrate so you can see the difference between the wing flex. So without being said, I'm going to move on to that next clip, and this will be a short clip, like a quick video clip on seeing the difference with the wing flex compared to some of my previous E175s I have in my collection. So without being said, let's get into the comparison. Okay, so for this part of the video, I'll be pairing my United E175 with two of my other E175s I have in my collection. So what you're seeing on your right is the American Eagle Embraer E175 from January 2022 in 1/400 scale. So as you can see, the American Eagle, I think this one in particular has a much of a worse wing flex. So as you can see, that is literally a 30-degree angle. And as compared to like the E175, you could see that the tip of the American Eagle's E175 winglet sits higher compared to the E175 for United Express. However, when I tried placing them on the other side, so let me just like do this, you can kind of see that the wingtips are nearly closely, here let me like put it into the center. So as you can see, the tip of the winglets kind of seems a little closer, like similar in like just the tip of the winglet is kind of like sitting nearly identical to what it is for that American E175. But again, like I noticed on like the review that the starboard winglet sits a bit higher compared to like the port wing. So yeah, that's what I noticed. It's still there. The wing flex is still there, but at least it's not to the point where it is a 30-degree angle. For the American Eagle, I think it's not really a 30. I mean, it might have that terrible wing flex. I mean, it is what it is. I think like, yeah, even so, when I do this, it kind of feels like this winglet on the American Eagle kind of sits a little higher to the United Express. So I think the American Eagle kind of has a much more worse wing flex compared to this United Express, for example. But when I pull up my Embraer E175 for Delta connection, you can see the Delta connection has a much more better wing flex. So as you can see, the United Express winglet sits a bit higher to the Delta connection one. But when I put my United Express on this side compared to the Delta connection, you can see that the winglets are nearly touching each other. Like the tips of each winglet is touching each other. But I think the United Express kind of sits a little higher compared to the Delta connection one. So I think like, again, like this United Express example is a much more better iteration compared to the first one. But there is still a little marginal wing flex, but again, it's not as worse as the first release set from 2020. But other than that, that shows you the difference between the E175s I have in my collection. I think the Delta connection has basically no wing flex at all. But as you can see, like those are like my two E1s, my three United, well not really United, these are my three E175s, so American, United, and Express. So I have all the E175s out of the big three airlines as regional brands. So really nice to have them, and yeah, that's kind of like it for like the comparison. I know it's like 3 minutes, I should have done it a little bit quicker, but I'm kind of like explaining in detail. But yeah, other than that, that's it for this video. So without being said, let's move on to the conclusion. What a beautiful model this is, ladies and gentlemen. I'm super fortunate to finally acquire my whiteware model that I've been wanting for years, and I'm just really happy that GeminiJets has finally made a United E175 after many collectors have been requesting this model for 5 years. This is going to be beneficial for my United regional fleet and some of my airport updates I'll be doing. Like if I'm going to be doing SMF, I'll use this aircraft for the SFO SMF route. But that's coming soon, but I'm just looking forward to featuring this aircraft on many more airport updates that I do for many years to come and towards the future. So, great work GeminiJets on this, and thank you Todd Michaels, Elliot Epstein, and the entire GeminiJets team for making this model in person. So, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel, and turn on the bell icon so you won't miss a new upload like this anytime soon. And if you want to see more of my model plane content, then you can click on that playlist, and it will feature all the model content I do from unboxings, reviews, and a whole lot more. So, that's it for today's video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Good night.